The Pickleball Show is brought to you by PBX Club. PBX stands for Pickleball Excellence. Join today and get the latest pickleball tips and strategies, news and opinion. Save money on paddles and other equipment with coupon codes to online pickleball retailers. Get travel discounts to tournaments and a whole lot more. How much does it cost to become a PBX Club member? Well, it's free. Just go to freepbxclub.com. That's freepbxclub.com. There's even a link in the show notes for this episode. freepbxclub.com. PBX Pickleball Excellence. Join the club. It's free.
Hello, my name's Wayne Megley, pickleball lover, and here's the host of the Pickleball Show, Chris Allen.
Thank you, Wayne, and welcome to the show dedicated to helping you play better pickleball while having even more fun and meeting new friends who share your passion for this great sport. My name is Chris Allen, and I'd like to thank you for joining us today and also thank everyone who has been sharing the links to the show via social media and telling other folks who play in your local club about the Pickleball Show. We really, really do appreciate your support. All right, let's see whose paddles are in the fence today. We have from South Jersey, Denise Donald, USAPA Ambassador for South Jersey. Denise, how are you today?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us. And also from Kansas City, Missouri, it's Mickey Collins. Mickey, how are you today?
Excellent.
We're getting into fall right now, and I know that one of the things that gives some of us some frustration is making that switch between indoor and outdoor, particularly with the ball. Because, you might be using a Duraball outdoor, which, if you've been playing indoor for a while, when it's time to go to an outdoor court and play, that Duraball feels like you're playing with a croquet ball sometimes because you're used to the jugs balls indoor and it's light and it's soft and it's sometimes hard to make that adjustment. That's why I would love, and if you've listened to past episodes, you already know this, I would love to have one unified ball that we use indoor, outdoor. It is the ball, and that be it. What have you guys found in terms of transitioning between indoor and outdoor play? What about you, Denise?
The hard ball outdoors, there are some hard balls for indoors as well. And some of the advanced players tend to like the harder ball. Mm-hmm. We also have now the new Pickleball Now green balls, the apple green, that we're starting to play with outside that have a much higher bounce. So it's an indoor ball, but they're playing with it outdoors. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, a lot of the advanced players don't like that ball because it gives the dink away.
Yeah, it is. It is a much livelier ball, and so it takes away some of the soft game.
But a lot of the players just really like it, and I'm debating now whether to start a beginner class that I'm holding with the indoor ball because of the bounce, because a lot of them are waiting for that bounce, the ball to bounce to them. They don't run to the ball.
Mm.
What do you think, Mickey?
Well, I've played in venues like over in Louisville, Kentucky at Tom Sawyer Park. They play indoors, 4 courts, 6-7 times a week, and they use outdoor balls playing indoors. So we didn't have an issue on transitions. And then you play over here, but I think after you got a game and a half behind you, you become accustomed to what the outdoor ball is going to do.
Yeah, it does take some adjustment, but some of the people that I play with, they love to play in tournaments, and sometimes if you're talking about a double elimination tournament, if it takes you 2 games to adjust to the ball, well, you're pretty much out of the tournament,
Well, you're right.
And so for that reason, I and for some others, I wish that there was, and I don't care which one, just pick one and make that the official ball, and we use it because a lot of times people talk about surfaces, different court surfaces, and this outdoor ball is going to skid on the indoor surface. But to me, the most important relationship on the court is the relationship between the ball and your paddle. It's not necessarily between the ball and the surface of the court. And so if I can just have the ball coming off of my paddle in a consistent manner, no matter where I'm playing, I would happily trade that for having to adjust a little bit to a surface because you're really having to do that anyway. If you're playing outdoors, you're adjusting all the time. You're adjusting to maybe it rained an hour ago and the court's a little damp, or maybe, you're adjusting to the wind. So you're always making surface adjustments. But if I could lock in the relationship between my paddle and the ball, I think that I'd be good to go. What about you, Denise?
Well, I think even the humidity has an effect on the ball.
Yeah, good point.
And tends to, we keep our balls in a bucket behind the court, and in the sun, the ball will get soft. Okay. If you take that same ball, put it under a towel, it gets hard again. So even the outdoor ball is subject to the elements. Indoors, when we're playing with the indoor green jug balls, some of the players are complaining their shoulders are hurting because they're having to put a little bit more effort into the ball because it is a softer ball to get the same speed.
We've been talking about balls and maybe a little bit about paddles here. Do you guys, I know you're both ambassadors, do you also rep equipment? What about you, Mickey? Do you have a line?
Dink Pickleball. I have my paddles made by Pickle Paddle in Iola, Kansas. But yeah, I definitely try to put a good paddle in the new folks' hands.
What about up there in New Jersey, Denise?
Well, I don't really like the wooden paddles very much, and it seems to be what everybody has when a new person comes. So I found a paddle. I've played with several different paddles. I'm probably on my 5th or 6th paddle now, and found paddles that I really, really liked. And I said, this is what I think the players would enjoy. So I wound up with 2 different paddle companies. I wound up with Paddle Tech a year ago. And just recently I went with Selkirk. And I like their paddle very much as well. And both companies were wonderful. They gave me demos to put into people's hands that they could try the paddles first. And where are they going to find a paddle that they can play with to try?
Right.
So they can try the different models. They can try the different weights. They now can try 2 different brands and make an executive decision basically on what they think is going to work for them.
That's nice to be able to compare because, you know, especially when you're starting out, you don't know enough to know what's going to serve you well going forward. Now, I wanted to get, since you both rep paddles, I've talked with some people who feel like, well, you know, if you're an ambassador, if you're a USAPA ambassador, some people think that it's a little bit of a conflict of interest to have, you know, your own, to be repping equipment in addition to just being kind of a nonpartisan, you know, ambassador for the sport. Where do you guys, what's your take on that?
Well, I just want the best for my players. And there's other paddles. And personally, I like the fact that some of these are made in America. They're family-owned business. They're pickleball people. They're people who've done research on pickleball. They're not just a big name company that decided to go into a pickleball line.
Right.
They're pickleball people. And they love the sport. They play in the tournaments themselves. I know Rocket has his own line of paddles. I think it's wonderful if they've actually done the background to find out what they need in a paddle, that you can give them the best.
Yeah. And Mickey, what about that conflict of interest thing? Where do you come down on that?
Well, you know what? I think as ambassadors, we're the voice of pickleball. With the knowledge that we've had, we've all had several paddles in our hands, and we've found that this is an acceptable paddle. And I feel that we're the ones that's talking pickleball. The other players are out there to enjoy the game. And I think that with us talking pickleball, because of ambassadors, we do have some additional, maybe in-depth knowledge of what it's all about. And we can promote a paddle and a game better than the person that they're playing against. You know what? In all honesty, these paddles, a good player can pick up any paddle out there and go and win a game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, hey, I just like the look of that paddle. They don't care what it's made out of. I think us ambassadors are better positioned to promote equipment to a new person than a person that doesn't participate as much.
I can see your reasoning. Hey, we've got a listener question here I wanted to pose to you guys, and actually it's from your neck of the woods. It's from Ben in Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh my gosh.
Ben asks about footwear. He said, does anybody have a favorite pair of shoes that they enjoy wearing? He recommends a couple of ones from K-Swiss, and that's what I tend to find. Those are the most comfortable for me. Didn't know if you guys had one that you swear by. What about you, Denise? Do you have some shoes that you think for women are the best pickleball shoes?
Actually, I don't. I've had surgery on both feet, and my foot doctor has put me into either New Balance or Asics shoes, and that's all he will let me wear.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. That's the other brand that Ben here in Lawrence, Kansas. He also recommends the Asics as well.
Now, whether you go with a court shoe or a running shoe, there's mixed on both. I personally wear a flat shoe that's made for training, for like weightlifting and stuff like that, because it gives my foot the feel that I need. Most of the other players do. The women that I play with prefer court shoes. No particular brand, though.
What about you, Mickey? Have you discovered the perfect pair of shoes for you?
I'm a Reebok.
Reebok all the way, huh?
Reebok. And I tell you what, that's a great point to bring up to new folks that are coming out. They come out with these cross trainers and they're all grippy and they, have big gnarly soles on them. And I think that you find a lot of injuries become because of not having the proper shoes. Mm-hmm. If you're playing on a court, my suggestion, and I think a lot of folks will agree with this, unless, of course, the doctor tells you otherwise, is to wear a court shoe. That's a religion to me, is to make sure that when I talk to new folks in a clinic or something like that, first of all, let's warm up, let's exercise, and then let's see what kind of shoes you wear, because you get these gnarly things, they'll grip that court, and your feet won't move, and your body will end up tipping over. But a good court shoe is my recommendation.
And something flat. Yeah. When you slide back and forth, when you're moving side to side and you're sliding your feet, you need to have something flat. You can't have something with ridges.
That's a very good point. Good recommendation. And especially when you're talking about new people, if they come out and they don't have the right shoes, they're using the wooden paddle and they think, I tried it and it wasn't for me, but maybe if they had the right equipment and the right footwear, they would have taken to it and they would have performed better and it would have felt better. And they might have discovered, a lifelong sport like we have.
Imagine trying it with a rocker sneaker.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Or those ones with the springs on.
Yeah.
But pickleball it's a system. You got your shoe wear, you got your ball, you got your paddle, you got your mind set. All those have got to come together for a great experience.
Very true. Well, Ben in Lawrence, Kansas, thank you for that question. And if you have a question that we can answer for you here on the Pickleball Show, you can always email it to us at mail@pickleballshow.com. Mickey, Denise, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate talking with you both.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank you for joining us today as well. Hey, have you gotten your copy of the top 10 tips from Pickleball's 3 greatest coaches? Coach Mo, Deb Harrison, Prem Carnot, all together in one quick study guide that will definitely take your game to the next level. It's absolutely free. You don't need a credit card. All you need is an email address. Just head over to freepbxclub.com. That's freepbxclub.com. We'll send it right out to you. Also, head over to iTunes. Hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss an episode of The Pickleball Show. Plus, if you feel it's appropriate, leave us a 5-star review, which boosts us up in the rankings and makes it a lot easier for other pickleball players around the world to find this show. I'm Chris Allen. This is The Pickleball Show. And until next week, keep 'em low. The Pickleball Show is brought to you by PBX Club. PBX stands for Pickleball Excellence. Join today and get the latest pickleball tips and strategies, news and opinion. Save money on paddles and other equipment with coupon codes to online pickleball retailers. Get travel discounts to tournaments and a whole lot more. How much does it cost to become a PBX Club member? Well, it's free. Just go to freepbxclub.com. That's freepbxclub.com. There's even a link in the show notes for this episode. freepbxclub.com. PBX Pickleball Excellence. Join the club. It's free.